Hello, Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing, Ahmed? Today, inshallah, I'm going to explain you or review Unit 5, and I'm going to review it. Now, I really wish you can review it on your own and understand it, and then you watch this video and then you review it again. The more you review, the better and the solid background you are going to have. So I'm going to have this Unit 5. I also strongly, very much advise you to take care about Unit 4. I mean, try your best. Do not do the examination or the test before you make sure that you understand Unit 4 very accurately, because it is tough, it is a lot, and it's gonna be weighted too much in the exam, more than the other units. Okay, now here I'm gonna just have some review. Of course, you can know the difference between arithmetic term and arithmetic series. If you do not understand the difference between those two, then I strongly advise you to go back and see it, check it out. So since it's term, so I'm gonna use the letter T, and then N means here, N could be any number of things, okay? So if I said 5 over N, N means anything, literally 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And I will explain to you why did we use N in the series and terms in sequences and etc. So this is Tn equals A, I think you know A, plus N again. This N is the same as this one. It's going to be N minus 1 times by D. So this is term. How about the series? Since it started with S, so I'm gonna put S, N equals N over 2. These are to memorize. 2A plus N minus 1 times D. Or you can just simply say or Sn equal N over 2 A plus this line here. So it's gonna be A plus Tn. Okay. So okay, 2 and A over 2. Okay. How about the third one? The geometric term formula. Gonna be Tn equals A times R to the power N to minus 1, and this is gonna be Sn equals A R squared minus 1 over R minus 1. Okay, got it now? If you do not know what I'm saying, then go back to the book and check it out. Now here I'm going to do 1 on each one. Like for 1 I'm going to do 1 letter. For 2 I'm going to do 1 letter. The other letter is yours, okay? So you can use it as reviewing. So I'm going to take the middle one, B. So here says determine whether each sequence is arithmetic, geometric, or neither. You know what does arithmetic mean, and you know what does geometric mean, okay? Arithmetic means addition or subtraction. Geometric means division or multiplication. So if you look here, look at the difference between those two, or the common factor, and try to decide the constant operations going here between two terms. So you have here 3 and 12. Okay, you can times 3 with 4 and you get or 12, or you can add it to 9. So you can actually say plus 9 if it, and then you can here multiply it with 4. Now let's go to 12. 12 and 19. Is there any number you can multiply with 12 to get 19? I mean whole number, not fractions. The answer is no. So it's not geometric, right? Is it arithmetic? Why? Let's see. Here, let me erase this. Here we added 9. So if it's arithmetic, we must add 9 on here too. So if we added 9 to 12, then it's gonna be, we're gonna have 8. We're gonna have 8, 20. Yeah, it's much less than 9. I think it's 7 maybe, or 6. No, it's 7. Okay, let's go more and see. 19 and 44, way more. So it's not arithmetic, it's not geometric, so it's neither. Okay, now let's go to the second one. For each arithmetic sequence, write the first 3 terms, then calculate term 13. Okay, I'm gonna take which one looks hard? I'm gonna take B. So he said write the first 3 terms. So I'm gonna write T1, T2, T3. Okay, here he gave me the formula, so I'm just gonna say 40 plus 13. Here n, here's 1, so I'm gonna put here 1, and here I'm gonna do the same thing, 13 times 2, and here I'm gonna say this is the same thing, 13 times 3. So I'm gonna have here 53, and I'm gonna have here, sorry, and I'm gonna have here 66, and I'm gonna have here 79. Okay, how about T13? Well, the same thing, but you substitute the bracket with 13. So you're gonna have 40 plus 13 times 13, right? So you're gonna have 209. Okay, for each geometric sequence, write the first 4 terms. What I'm gonna take? Okay, I'm gonna take the square root. Yeah, I'm gonna take the square root, so it's gonna be perfect review. So I'm gonna do T1, T2, right, and T3, and here the first 4. So I'm gonna take T4, and then I'm gonna I have already the formula on here, so I'm gonna have square root 1 minus 1, and this is gonna be, okay, the square root of 2 to the power 1 minus 1 is literally square 2 times 0, and everything to the power 0 is 1. So all of this bracket is going to be 1, so 1 times 3 is 3. And here I'm gonna do the same thing, 2 minus 1, it's gonna be my square 3, square root of 2. T3 is gonna be 3, the square root of 2, 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2, so square 2 squared is gonna be 2. 3 times 2 is gonna be 6, and I'm gonna have 3. 2 to the power 4 minus 1, which is gonna mean 3, the square root of 2 times to the power 3, which is gonna be going to be 3, 2 square 2. This is gonna be okay, no, I think I messed up in here. Okay, wait, I'm sorry about it. Let's do it again. So this is gonna be square root to the power 3. Square root to the power 3 is going to be 3 over 2, right? So it's gonna be 3 times 2 over 3 over 2, right? Do you remember this? This is very important one. So it's gonna be 3 to the square root 8. I'm gonna write it down because I'm gonna leave space here for you. You have very limited space. So it's gonna be 3 square root of 8. Okay. Now for each arithmetic sequence, determine the value of a and b and the formula for the general term. Then write the next 4 terms. What I'm gonna choose? I'm gonna choose a. Okay. So as you can see here, you have 3, 1, minus 1, minus 3. So from 3 to 1, what happened here? Notice he said arithmetic here. So it's addition and subtraction. There's no multiplication. So I'm gonna have here minus 2. So A is the first letter, so it's gonna be 3, and D is the the repetition or the sequence or the difference, so it's gonna be minus 2. And then it says here write the formula. So the formula is gonna be Tn equals 3 plus n minus 1 times minus 2, right? And then I have to calculate T1 and T4 terms, T1 to T4. So it's going to be T1. Then write the next 4 terms. The next 4 terms. I already have the 4 terms here. So I'm going to write T5, T6, T7, and T8. So I'm going to have T5. It's going to be 5. And T6, minus 5, and this is gonna be minus 7. T7 is gonna be minus 9, and T8 is going to be minus 11. Perfect. Now let's go to 5. Write the first 3 terms of each geometric sequence. So what do you want to choose? Okay, I'm gonna take B. Or I think A looks more interesting. It's function of n. So function of n equals 2 to the minus 1 to the power n. So write the first 3 terms. I'm just gonna T1 is geometric, okay? So it's gonna be 2 minus 1 to the power 1. T2 going to be 2 to the minus 1 to the power 2, and T3 going to be 2 to the minus 1 to the power 3. Now here I'm going to be minus 2, there's going to be 2, it's going to be minus 2. Okay, let's go to 6. For each geometric sequence, determine the value of a and r and the formula for the general term. So what is a? Obviously 64. And what is r? Well, you look here. So 32 is half of 64, and 16 is half of 32, and 8 is half of 16. So just gonna have half like that. So the formula is going to be Tn equals 64, which is a, and then n over 2 to the power n to the minus 1. Okay, now let's go to 7. I guess I'm gonna do, okay, I have 7 and 8 here. What do you prefer, arithmetic or geometric? I'm gonna do the geometric, since geometric involves addition and subtraction. So I'm gonna do 8 and I'll leave 7 for you. So given T5 is 72 and T3 is 8, this question will be in the test, will be in the exam, okay? I'm 100% sure you're gonna have a question looks like this. Given T5 equals 72 and T3 is 8 of a geometric sequence, determine A and R. Write the general term for the formula Tn and calculate T8. Okay, since T5 is 72, we have the formula. If you went up here, we have the formula. Do you see it? Excuse me. We have the formula on here. So I'm gonna say that all of this equals what? So A is 72, and yeah, proceed. Now, if we went down, no, excuse me, he didn't say T5 is not A, because it's 5, T5. So T5 is something, okay? A is the first term, which is T1. So if we went up to the equation on here, I'm gonna just write it down. Tn equal A to the times R to the minus N to the power N to minus 1. So Tn equals A times R to the power N minus 1. Let me make sure that I did it right. Yes, I did it right. Okay, now this 72 is Tn, okay, which is T8. So it's gonna be 72. I don't know what A is, I don't know what R is, but I know what N is. So N is here, it's 8 here, so I'm gonna have 8 minus 1 is gonna be 7. So A to the power R to 7. Okay, now you have to solve the problem to A. So because you want to get A, so you're gonna have, I'm just gonna do it very quickly, 72 over R to the power, what I did here, okay, so here's 7. No, this is the arithmetic one. Oh my god. Okay, I'll just move it down in here. I'm very sorry. Here's 5. Here's 5. So I'm gonna have 72, the same thing. I'm just gonna write it down, write the equation. Okay, you know what I did? I messed up here. I just moved to the wrong question. I was doing 8 and I moved suddenly to 7. So I'm gonna erase all of this and start again. You know, repeating sometimes could be beneficial. I didn't intend to repeat. So 72 is A. The R here is 5. N is 5 here, as you can see. So it's going to be 5 minus 1. So 72 is A R to the power 4. And then we have to work as to solve A. So I'm going to have A equals to 72 74 to the R 72 by R to the power 4. Okay, now, and T3 is 8, so I'm gonna do the same thing. T3 is 8, so I'm going to have 8 equals to A R 3 minus 1, 8 equals A R squared. So A is, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it like that. Now look at the magic. Here we have 8 equal A to AR squared, and here we have A equals 72 to the R to the power 4. So I can sub A, you know, I can sub it here. So I'll just have 8. Instead of writing A, I'm gonna write the formula that I got from T5. So I'm gonna have 72 over R to the power 4 times R squared. This will cancel this out, and I'm gonna have 8 equals to I'm gonna put up here 8 equals to 72 over r what. So because here we have 2 and we have here 4, so it's gonna be like this. So 4, so this will cancel this out. So I'm not gonna have r here, but I'm gonna have r squared here. We have taken this on the unit 1, remember. Okay, now what is r? So r squared is 72 over 8. Now doing the calculations with the calculator, I'm gonna have r is 8. Now we can get a. Since we have r, we can plug it on anything really here, on any formula, either this one or this one. So I'm gonna just pick this one and apply it. You can apply it on anything you want, on any formula I squared right now. So it's gonna have 8 equals r is 8. Okay, so I'm gonna have a and then 8 squared, and then a is going to be 72 over 81, which is going to be 8 over 9. So a is 8 over 9. Now Tn is what? Now I have a is 8 over 9, and I have r, sorry, I have, yeah, it's gonna 8, and then I'm gonna have r, which is which is 8 here. What is r? No, r is 3 here, so it's gonna be 3 on here. Sorry, miscalculation. So it's gonna be 3 here, and then n to the minus 1, and then you can calculate T8. So T8 is 8 over 9, 3 to the power 7, which will be 1944. Okay, let me just take a break. I have to open the conditioning. I'll be right back. Okay, now let's go to 9. Determine the number of terms in each sequence. Prove mathematically. Okay, this is gonna be in the exam. So I'm gonna have 5, 8, 11, and 62. This is a sequence. This is the start of the sequence, and this is the end of the sequence. Now, how many terms I'm gonna have? I mean, how many terms between these dots? First, we have to decide which one is a. So a is gonna be 5, and then the difference is gonna be 3. Tn is 62, the last one. I do not know what n is, so this is what I want to know. If I knew n, I will know how many terms do I have there. Okay, now we're just gonna do the formula that we did on page 1. These 4 formulas, you have to memorize it as your name, and you know what one to choose. Okay, this is arithmetic, so I'm gonna use the arithmetic series formula. We went up arithmetic series formula. No, I'm sorry, the arithmetic term formula. The series is something else. We're gonna go to it. So where are we? Yeah, this one here. So we're gonna have Tn equal to a plus n minus d minus 1 times d. So Tn is 62, and a is 5, and n, we do not know what n is, right? So we keep it like this, and d is 3. So we're gonna have 62 minus 5, so I'm gonna have 57. 5 is already gone, so I'm gonna have n minus 1 times 3. So I'm gonna divide the whole thing with 3 here, so I'm gonna have n minus 1 times 3 divided by 3, so this goes with this and this goes with this, so I'm gonna have 19 equals to n minus 1, and then I'm gonna have n is 20, so 20 terms. 1 2 3 blah 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 19 20. Okay, now we're gonna go to series, which is these formulas, this one and this one. Okay, we finished from terms, now we go to series. Series is the combination of all of those terms. Okay, find, I'm gonna do, how about I'm gonna do 11. I'm gonna leave 10 for you. 10 is easy. Or you know what, I'm gonna do 10. Do the hard one. Find the sum of, listen to me and try to emulate me, okay? Find the sum of the first 28 terms in the arithmetic series. Look, arithmetic here. That starts as minus 6. What did we have to have minus 1 here? We added 5, right? And here we added 5, and the list goes on. So what's the first term? Is minus 6. What's the difference? Is 5. And what is n? The first 28 terms, so n is 28. So what's this? Look, he says series here, he did not say terms, so I'm gonna have the law of the series, so I'm gonna have Sn is what I need. So Sn equals to n over 2, go up and check the law, so it's gonna be 2a plus n minus 1 d, close the bracket, so S28 is 28 over 2, which is 14 actually, and 2a is 2 to the minus 6 is minus 12 plus 28 minus 1 is 27 times 5, okay, 123. And then the last thing, the whole series is 1722. Okay, so if you added minus 6 to minus 1 to 4 to 9 28 times, you're gonna have 1722. This is the series, it's not the term. Okay, I will leave 11 for you. And here he said find S14 given Tn. Okay, he said 5S14 given Tn. He gave you here the term formula. So what you're gonna do first is that you're gonna calculate the first term, okay, which is simply is going to be T1 equals to, the law is 5 plus 3 over 2, and n is 1, so I'm gonna have 13 over 2. Now I'm gonna calculate T14 as he asked me here. I have to calculate the first and the last, and then I combine them in the series law. So look at me, look at how I do it. So I'm gonna have 5 plus 3 over 2 times 14. This is gonna be 26. Now I'm gonna do the law, which is gonna be Sn equals n over 2. A plus what? Remember when we go up there, here, you can use this or you can use this one. On that question we need this one, the second one here, we need it. We do not need this. We can't figure out A. We can, but we can't. I mean, this is much simpler. We already figured A, which is T1. So if we went down, A plus Tn, so Sn is going to be 14 over 2, it's going to be 7, and A is 13 over 2, and Tn is, which is 26, Tn is T14, right? So it's going to be 26, close the bracket, do the calculations, you're going to have 455 over 2. Okay, leave 13 for you. I will leave 14 for you, and I'll take 15. So 15 here, determine the sum of the geometric series. Wow. So he gave me T1, T2, T3, and Tn. I do not know what's the number of this item, what's the order of this item. Okay, so my job is to get n. So how I'm gonna do it, I'll start with A. So A obviously is 5, and R, as you can see, 5, 10, 20. So 5 times 2 is 10, and 10 times 2 is 20, and 20 times 2 is gonna be 40. So it's gonna be 40 here, and the list goes on. So here's gonna be 2. Tn, the last term, is gonna be 2560, and n is the missed one. So what I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna have Tn first below. Tn is A times R to the minus n minus 1 to the power n minus 1, and then Tn here is this number. Look, I'm playing around here. I'm trying to fill everything. So this has number, this has, I'm trying to put as much as number as I have. Substitute. So 2560 equals 2. A is 5, R is 2, n is missing. So I'm going to have I'm going to divide both sides with 5. So I'm going to have here 512 equals 2 to the minus n 1. Now what do we do if we have this one here? What do we do if we have this? Now we are stuck. How can we get n? Well, do you remember in exponents? Okay, if I say to you in exponent functions, if I say to you 2 over x equals, let's say, 64. Okay, so 2 over x equals 2 over something. So 64, 2 times 2, I guess here it's 8, maybe 8. Yeah, so here if you did this, then x is 8. So you solved it. You do the same thing here. You try to make the base 2 and if the exponent some number. So if we put the base 2 on here, so we're gonna have 2 over 9, 2 to the power 9, sorry. So if you times 2 9 times, you're gonna have 512. This is gonna be equal to 2 to the power n minus 1. Then n minus 1 is going to be 9, but we want n, we do not want n minus 1. So I'm gonna have n equal, and you move this on the other side, 9 plus 1 is gonna be 10. So n is 10. Okay, so now we understand that there are 10 terms. Okay, now here he says the sum of the geometric series, so you use the law of the sum of geometric series. So the law is up there, so Sn equal to a r to the power n minus 1 over r minus 1, and then you're gonna have S10, remember the last one, it's gonna be 5 2 to the power 10 minus 1 over 2 minus 1, and then S10 equals to 5 times 1023, so it's going to be 5115. So if you added all of those numbers together, you're going to have 5115. Okay, so I'll leave 16 and 17 for you. Yeah, they look the same. The third of the geometric series 24, the first is 36. Determine the sum of the first 10 terms. This is wording problem. I'm gonna, like, if you understand everything I said in the video, you should be able to do this. But let me help you. The third. So if he said third here, then he means T3. Okay, the third term. He means T3. It's a geometric series. Okay, so you use the laws of geometric terms and series. So T3 is 24. So T3 equals 24. And the fourth term, T4, is 36. Determine the sum of the first n terms. So he wants the S10. Okay. How are you going to do it? First, you have to list the laws, the parameters a and r and n. Okay. You've got. Did you get all of this? No. You've got only n, which is 10. So n is 10. But how can you get a and r? Well, you can get r by just looking at these two. So T3 is 24 and T4 is 36. So either you add something or you multiply something and with 24 and you get 36. But here it says it's geometric series. So since this is big, since 36 is bigger than, or since T4 is bigger than T3, then you're gonna multiply it. Okay, which number you get? Which number you multiply with 24 and you get 36? That number is r. Okay. After you get r and n, you put the law of the Tn. Okay, and you are going to get a. How can you get a? You get a because a is T1, right? So you substitute n with 1 and then you do the problem, and then you're gonna get a. If you got a, r is already gotten, n is already given, and then you can do S10. Okay, recursive functions. How about I do b? A looks more complicated. Okay, I'm gonna do A. Okay. So T1 is 4. T2 is what? Just plug it in the formula. So it's gonna have T. We're gonna have 2 times 4, right? This is 5. T3 is 13 minus 2 times 3, equals 7. So here you're gonna have 4, 5, 3, and then 7. Okay, if you did not understand, stop, pause it, read the question, and then try to solve it yourself. If you could not do it, listen to me again, then pause it, then read the question, then solve it yourself until you're gonna be able to do A alone. If you did A perfectly and understand it, you may go to B. Okay, I'm gonna do 21 B. So here's if T1 is 1, then Tn is minus 3 times Tn minus 1, right? Now 22, expand the following using Pascal's triangle. Okay, that's gonna take long time. It's easy, but it's gonna take long time. Okay, it's very easy. I'm gonna do this one so you can see. Now here you have 1 and 4. Okay, so you're gonna have 1, 4, 6, 4, and 1, and then you're gonna have brackets in here, 3x to the power 4 plus what comes with the 4, 3x squared, and 5x squared to the power 1 plus what comes with 6, 3x squared and 5x squared plus what comes with 4, 3x to the power 1 and 5x squared plus what comes with 1, 5x squared to the power 4, and the rest you're gonna simplify it. Okay, now let's go to the last one. 23. What is the fifth term in the expansion of 5xy plus y to the power 6? I'll leave this for you. Now this is an extensive review and it's a challenging review. You may go back, read again, do problems, and then come back on here again and do it. You can ask me and you can seek help, but do not do the exam until you make sure that you understand it thoroughly and you understand unit 4. Unit 4 is as important as this. Okay, and I'll see you. Bye.